Welcome back to another video. So this one has been long in the works. I apologize it's taken so long to get to this. But we're going to compare the Pentax KP versus the K3. Not the K3 Mark III, the original OG Pentax K3. So I've got my Pentax K3 here, and I've got my KP right here. So what I'm going to be checking is the performance, namely the autofocus performance. Has there really been that much of an improvement, and is it worth the extra dollars for a used KP versus the more cost-effective Pentax K3, strictly in regards to the performance of the autofocus and reaction time from when you press the shutter button to when it captures the image after focusing. I do have the 55-300 PLM lens mounted, and I also brought the DFA 100 Macro WR, not the new AW version, the older one, the WR. And I'm going to take a look at screw drive autofocus versus the PLM performance on both of these cameras, and then we will conclude whether or not the performance really is that much different in real world testing. This is not a scientific test or anything like that. As Pentax has said, there are some things that just can't be measured, character, the feel, things like that. So we're going to take a look at all that, and hopefully there will be some gulls flying around because they're pretty consistent, and that would make this a lot easier. The weather's been pretty terrible lately, so it's been a little difficult to get out and actually shoot because it's been way too hot. Birds are hiding, and then there were storms. Anyway, so gonna head out and see what happens. And I don't think this is going to happen. I literally just got out of my car and there's already thunder happening, and it's just starting to rain slightly. So yeah, looks like we're going to have to wait for this video to come out because this is not going to work out at all. Alright, well, here we are. Attempt number 2. Another day. Gonna start off with the Pentax K3 with the 55-300 PLM, and we'll see how that does with tracking and autofocus and acquisition time when you hit the shutter. And then we will switch over and throw the 55-300 PLM onto the KP and redo the same thing. So let's get out there and start shooting. Alright, so I'm going to be shooting in AFC with fully expanded autofocus in TAV mode at f8. And I will keep all the settings identical between the KP, which we'll do after, and this Pentax OG K3. Anything else I should add? I'm going to be shooting in JPEG because this is not an image quality comparison. This is strictly about the autofocus acquisition and speed with the algorithm built into the camera, i.e. firmware capabilities. So that's all we're going to be focusing on. Nothing to do with image quality, so it doesn't matter if I'm shooting in JPEG. This is all about the autofocus speed acquisition to shooting time. So now all I got to do is wait for some gulls to show up so I've got something to track. And that might take a while, so we'll be back. Actually, while we wait for the gulls, there's a tree just down this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to defocus this lens. And once I defocus it, I'm going to then acquire focus and shoot. And we'll see how long that takes. And then I'll do the same thing when I start off with the KP afterwards, just while we wait for some gulls to show up here. Seems to be a pretty slow day. So I'm completely defocused. And 1, 2, when I say go is when I'm pressing the shutter to acquire focus. So just wait for that one jet ski to go off. So maybe you'll hear the beep. If not, I'll call it out. I'll say 1, 2, 3, go. When I say go is at the moment I press the shutter button, acquire focus, and then when I say gotcha is when it's acquired focus and the shutter fires. 1, 2, 3, go. Gotcha. So that is how long it took at 300 millimeters, completely defocused, to acquire focus, drive the lens, acquire focus, and actually shoot. So we'll do the same thing when I grab the KP, and we'll go from there. Gotcha. It's interesting. So this time it actually fired off consecutive shots pretty rapidly. There was one gull that went by, and as I was trying to acquire focus, it just hesitated and took forever, and it just clicked, like click, click, click. Extremely, extremely slow, continuous firing time. I double checked everything. I am in focus priority for both first frame action in AFC and continuous action in AFC. They're both in focus priority mode, just to keep everything even. And I am in high speed drive mode, so continuous shooting. So I don't know why it was so ridiculously super slow. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it compares with the KP. You know, again, this is just to see, you know, which one is of better value. Is the KP worth the premium on the used market when the K3 is now stupendously cheap compared to what it was when it first came out? So your mileage may vary, of course, but just in general, which one should you choose, right? So doesn't seem to be a whole heck of a lot here right now, so I'm going to pause the video. This part of the video anyway. I'm going to wait for some gulls. I'm going to do another shoot. I'll let you know the thoughts from the K3, and then I will go grab the KP and resume the video and start off with the tree shot again, and wait for some gulls and see how that experience is, and then we'll discuss at the end. And yeah, that'll be it. So I'll be right back. Alright, so now I have the Pentax KP with the 55-300 PLM, and I'm shooting at the exact same settings: TAV mode, f8, 1/1250th of a second, select autofocus expanded to the maximum, and focus priority for first frame action and continuous shooting. So, identical settings, and I'm going to defocus on the tree across the way there, and get this all the way up to 300. And same thing, 1, 2, 3, go, and then I don't remember what word I used before. It's been a number of minutes, and I had some conversations with some of the people that are here. So, what was it? 1, 2, 3, go, and then I fire the shutter, and then gotcha. There we go. I remember. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Gotcha. So, try that again. Defocus. I was a bit off on my call out here. 1, 2, 3, go. Gotcha. So this does seem to be a lot faster in driving the lens compared to the K3. So now I'm just going to wait for some gulls or some turns. I did hear some turns turning away. I don't know, whatever that weird chirp noise is that they make. I did hear a few of them. So wait it out a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some just coming along this way. That would be good. And I'm not going to stay here for too long because there's a bunch of fire ants, and I think I got bitten by one already, and it's starting to really sting. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video, wait, and then I'll be back. Another one. Oh boy. Okay, so one thing that absolutely needs to be said is the buffer difference between the K3 and the KP. I already maxed out the buffer on the KP. I shot a lot more shots on the K3, no issues, didn't hit the ceiling of the buffer. This thing, it was almost immediately hitting the buffer just after a very quick burst. So that is one monstrous drawback to the KP. As great as the camera is designed and all the features and functions, the image quality and all that stuff, if you are looking for a cheaper Pentax camera to do some continuous shooting, wildlife, birding, that kind of thing, you need to really temper your expectations when it comes down to the buffer. If you're not a burst shooter and you're just taking single shots, the KP is perfectly fine. But if you are going to be relying on the buffer to get that exact shot you're looking for, depending on how the wings are, flapping, if you want like the tips facing up or facing down, and you need that split second, you don't have much of a choice but to shoot burst and hope that you get that 1 millisecond in that right frame. The KP is not going to help you do that. But autofocus acquisition, this on preliminary evaluation without looking at the images, which we will do shortly, but just from the experience, it does appear that the KP does drive the PLM lens way faster and acquires focus and allows you to shoot much quicker with less delay between focus acquisition and shutter activation. So the KP does have an advantage there.
So as you see here, the Pentax K3 was pretty close for the very beginning, and you would think it would improve, but then as you'll quickly notice here, it starts to get confused with what is closer to the camera and what is more background. And then here it completely and utterly missed when there's nothing around whatsoever. And it happened again with this next shot here. Eventually it was able to start pulling it back, but the actual accuracy of the autofocus in regards to tracking without giving the camera time to track a subject for a fair amount of distance before shooting. So the immediacy of just point and shoot and hoping that it's in focus when you shoot, that is still a fundamental issue with the K3. So, just one more instance here where it did actually capture pretty sharp. And now let's have a look at the KP. Now, with the Pentax KP, this was a completely different experience. The autofocus locked on and was able to track with no issues. There was no, all of a sudden, 1 or 2 frames for some mysterious reason become completely and utterly out of focus. It was able to just catch on and continue to stay attached to the subject. Again, one of the issues with the KP is the extremely small buffer. That is a major problem. Other than that, the KP does a much better job, and it is very evident that there are autofocus improvements when shooting through the viewfinder. As you can see here, even shooting through the trees, I was not using autofocus hold. It just stayed glued to the subject. A lot of these images may not appear to be extremely sharp. That is not a fault of the autofocus. That is the limitation of the 55-300 PLM in regards to its ability to render the resolution necessary to crop in heavily. These are heavily cropped. These are not the actual distance that the birds were to the camera. They were pretty small in the frame, but it's what I had to work with. And it was also a very good test of the autofocus capabilities between the K3 and the KP, right? So with that said, and if you hear that moaning and groaning, that's just my dog. I don't know what his problem is. But anyways, back on to the video. So yeah, this was a very interesting thing. And now we're about to flip the script and look at the slowest focusing lens that Pentax has ever made, the 100 f2.8 macro.
We're going to switch over to the 100 macro and just do some shots just to see how long it takes to drive that monster lens, because as we all know, the 100 macro is the absolute slowest focusing Pentax lens ever created, except for manual focus. So that'll be a really good comparison to see which one really does drive that lens the quickest. So here I am in the car, and right in front of me is a sign. So I'm going to, this was not planned, going to defocus the 100 macro on the Pentax K3, and you will hear the buzz of the lens trying to acquire focus, and let's see how long it takes. So it does rack from one end all the way to the other. Right? And now let's do the same with the Pentax KP. Actually, let's do one shot just to see the delay here. Oh, interesting. Nothing was in focus. Let's try that again. Huh. So, not much of a delay, but let's see how the KP does. Okay, so now I have the Pentax KP, and we're going to do the same thing, completely defocus, and shoot away. Do that again. So there doesn't seem to be much of a difference. They both do rack to the far end of the lens before they rack it back to acquire focus. So that, not much of a difference regarding delay from focus acquisition and shooting with the macro. They both focus fairly quick, and this is an interesting comparison.
So at the end of the day, both the Pentax K3 and the Pentax KP do have their strengths and weaknesses. The K3 seems to struggle with the immediacy of acquiring autofocus and shooting. As you saw, images came out completely blurred for no explicable reason. The KP did a much better job with that. However, the Pentax K3 does have 2 card slots and a much deeper buffer than the Pentax KP. So it's a toss-up. It all depends on what your priorities are in regards to the camera, whether or not the KP's additional price point on the used market is of value to you regarding the flip out screen and the higher ISO range and the newer features and the image quality, right? However, if you are looking to shoot with a longer burst mode and you want to take the time to have the subject flying in as you track, the camera gets focus, and then you start firing, the K3 would be the better value for you. The K3 is absolutely not a point and shoot camera. You can't just raise it, hold the trigger down, and then hope that everything's going to be in focus. Even if you're using focus priority, it does still miss for whatever reason, as you saw. The KP does not. The KP does have autofocus improvements, which are vastly superior to that of the K3, at least from my results from my testing, which you saw in this video. So it's really hard, right? Like, I can't recommend one over the other. It all depends because they both have pretty big shortcomings, which are opposite of each other, right? So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And that's going to conclude this video. If you like it, leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Always helps out. Always read the description. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will catch you in the next video. I'm out.